But no, big Goldson, just tremendous. I mean, again, that's testament to our scouting network, and bringing them in, because somebody's looked at it and went, well, hold on, he's missed basically 2 years of football because of his heart condition.
Mm-hmm.
He's come back in, he's done okay at Brighton. We can get him, and he's not got a lot of miles on the clock. I mean, he's 28, 29 years old now. So when we signed him, he was 25.
I think he's that old, is he?
Is he as old as that?
I think so.
Well, anyway, he was early to mid-20s when we signed him, and but he was 2 years behind in the amount of games he's played, so he's not got that was on the clock. If you can follow where I'm going with that,
yep.
So
he's 28 years old, by the way.
Not that right. Okay, so he was 25 when we signed him.
Aye.
Right. So, but he probably only had played the games of maybe a 22, 23-year-old.
Aye, because he was out for so long.
Because he was out for so long. So he's only now starting to approach the peak of his powers as a centre half. And to have played that amount of games is phenomenal. I mean, he struggled a bit towards the end of his first season with the club, but I mean, before that, he'd only played 35 games in 3 years or something like that. So he was obviously going to struggle, and it was a new type of football for him and all that sort of stuff. But now, I mean, he's amazed to the team. The man's an absolute colossus.
Again, Scott, he had his critics. He did it when he first came in, like Wolf says. But I think any Rangers fan that thought that he wasn't going to be an important part of the team, or they didn't fancy him, I can't imagine there's many of them left.
Well, I'd be surprised if there was. To be honest, I knew a lot about him before he signed for Rangers anyway. I used to live in Brighton, and I've got a pal who's a Shrewsbury Town fan. So when he signed for Brighton from Shrewsbury Town, it was very much a case of this centre-back for Brighton is going to be class. He's going to be brilliant. He's going to be this, that. And yeah, it's well documented. He had his heart trouble. But then even when he came back, he was available for a while, but he couldn't get in the team through Shane Duffy or... Listen, believe it or not, but, make your jokes, but Shane Duffy and Lewis Dunk at those pairing in the Championship, considering the football that they play in the Championship, obviously suits Shane Duffy. So that's probably more his level. But I'll tell you something now. Ever since Connor Goldson signed, my pals that support Brighton, always on the phone. How's Connor? Wish we could have him back. That hasn't changed. And in fact, it's got to a stage where they've stopped actually texting me that, because they know he's well above that level. We're lucky to have him. He is only going to get better from this point. He's going to be a centre back that we're going to look at the age of 34 years old. That's going to be his peak. As Will said, we've got a lot of mileage left in him. He should be one of the players that we should be tying down to another longer term contract, because, and it's another thing as well, it's a blessing this behind closed doors, because we can actually see the vocal impact that he has on the team. He is just as much a captain as James Tavernier. Organises, structures the team. Brilliant to have him. Brilliant personality, positive guy. And yeah, I think he's a Liverpool fan as well, isn't he? So maybe let's hope Gerrard doesn't go to Liverpool, because we were surprised if he took Connor with him.
Well, they're definitely getting Duffy back, Brighton. I think that's a certainty. One thing I did notice about the game, Wolf, and I don't know if it's just me, and I never noticed it before, but even after the goals we scored, it cut to Gerrard, and he never looked happy. He looked as if something was annoying him. Is that just me?
I noticed that after the first goal, he was even after the first goal, something seemed to be bothering him for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. I don't know what it was, whether they weren't, following the letter what he wanted them to do. But I actually like the way Steven Gerrard is now, that he's not over celebrating goals. He's learnt from the criticism he got last year. I mean, he's admitted it himself. He's learnt from the criticism he got last year, over celebrating goals, because we've won nothing yet. And it's kind of, to me, it's a small team mentality when you celebrate just a run-of-the-mill goal against a run-of-the-mill team in a run-of-the-mill match, you know. But I fully expect when we go on and actually win something, I fully expect you have to let the whole out and you have to go absolutely tonto, which I know we won't be the only one doing that, but fair enough. But I didn't notice that yesterday after the first goal I did, but after that, I don't know. Maybe just you.
Maybe probably was just me. I seem to see things that aren't always there. Right, I'm not going to ask Will this question. Final question with regards to the Ross County game, Scott. 5-0, good performance. I win, 23 points clear. I've already said it on the podcast tonight that the league's over. Can I get you to say the league's over?
Ask me after Wednesday.
Ask you after.
I have to say I'm the same, because although I'm saying take it one game at a time, I said before the Old Firm game, if we can get from there to the end of January unbeaten, then even I'll concede it's won. So if we don't lose on Wednesday, even I've got to concede that it's done.
And it takes a lot for you to say that, Wolf, because I know that you're one of the most pragmatic guys at a lot of us. Right, let's move on to the Hibs game then, and we'll finish up. I've said this a few times, Scott, and it's really difficult when you're so far ahead, but obviously because of everything that we've went through. So, look, how big a game is this?
Just as important as the last one, not as important as the one after that. Every game is important when you're a Rangers supporter, Rangers player, Rangers manager. Yes, we are ahead in the league, but we go into every single game with the same mentality. It's a game that we should win. It's a game we want to win. And ultimately, if we are going to win titles, it's a game that we have to win. I think the players have got a bit of a point to prove, because in the game at Easter Road early in the season, by all means watch it back. But again, it's another situation where we were the better team for a large majority of the match. And I think that was the end of McLaughlin's spell in goal, because we conceded 2 goals. McGregor's come in and done a magnificent job. I think we're in a stronger place than we were when we played them back then. But that was a game we should have won. We had 2 sloppy moments where we conceded 2 goals. I remember Ryan Kent being clean through. I think Scott Arfield had a great chance as well. He should have scored. We should have won that game comfortably. We know, and people listening, if they're worried about going into this game, we know exactly how Rangers are going to turn up and play, and they will turn up and play like that. If it reassures anyone, that's exactly what's going to happen. We can never call the outcome of the result, but I'm very confident of a win.